just ensure we are all composed before we start. The game has gone for just less than 2 minutes. Not much threat from either side. Still finding composure. And Uganda misplaced their line out. And here is Ivory Coast trying to make a drive into the Uganda half. This, if you remember very well, when Uganda was playing against Kenya, this was part of their game plan, ensuring that whoever comes to try and carry the ball, they also ensure they can carry you to whichever location you want to go. You'll not be on the feet. There'll not be a conversion whereby the referee will be saying a release player. Uganda very smart with that. They've done it well against Kenya. Quite unfortunate that after the first half, the second half was a bit tricky for them. I'm expecting Uganda to be more powerful in this game. Joining me live on commentary is Ernest all the way from Kampala, Uganda. Ernest, what's your take the first 3 minutes of this match?
A little bit of butterfingers from Team Uganda. Lost the kickoff, lost it forward, but then picked themselves up with that first scrum. And then again, the next set piece was a line out their feed. No one jumps, turned over by Cote d'Ivoire. But then you can see that master tactic to hold them up. Did it the first time, ball popped out on the Cote d'Ivoire side, and then the very next time there's a contact zone, they held them up, and now they have the scrum feed. Uganda still playing in their own territory, so we'll expect to see some exit play, and they can get going in this game.
Fantastic input. That's Ernest. Ernest has some... was it that he did not release the player first? Yes. Ernest, much appreciated on your feedback. Ernest is a seasoned rugby pundit all the way from Kampala, Uganda. He's been here enjoying the beautiful weather that is of Nairobi. Comparisons with his other city of Kampala, he prefers Kisumu. This is a very easy match. Uganda, we're expecting better composure from them. Daniel Okello, captain, ensuring that he's telling his teammates, let's get it right. There is no rush. Ernest?
This is an opportunity for Uganda now to attack in the right zone. They've managed to push Cote d'Ivoire straight into the own 22, and with that much of a, I could call it an emergency line out, playing the ball straight to the props has put them in a front position to play and attack.
So Uganda with possession just slightly outside the 22, and the referee is already playing advantage. Very smart play. Whoa, this is a very heavy tackle, but I'm guessing we're going back to where the advantage had been called for by the referee. Yes, Inwaswa rushing it, but I'm guessing Okello has to tell him, let's ease off. Let's get some better look onto it. Uganda have opted to go for the points. Very good play. First time close to the Ivory Coast 22, and they opt for points. Smart move. No need to waste your energies as you start it off. Let's see how this one goes. Okello with the kicking duties. He has a very strong left foot, and ladies and gentlemen, the scores as it stands with that conversion, Uganda take the lead with 3 points to nothing. Very good left kick there from David Okello.
Yeah, you could see he has continued from where he stopped in the first game, kicking 4 out of 6 penalties against Kenya, and this was in kickable territory, so Cote d'Ivoire will need to be aware that every time they're in that zone, Malcolm Okello will be calling for that tee.
Uganda seem to have gotten their composure going into the next, after the first 5 minutes of a bit shaky play. Uganda now have their composure, they're kicking better, they're holding onto the ball better. So now ball has been kicked deep into the Ivory Coast territory. Abdulaziz Ouattara with a kick, and then a response comes back from Uganda. We're able to kick, very smart kick, very smart kick. And it has just corrected me that Alvin is just not Alvin Mwebaze, but he's also Alvin Sean Mwebaze. Plays for the Buffaloes, the Premier League in Uganda. I love Julie's stance, the way she's directing all the lineouts. She ensures everything is intact and is to as per expectation. Wali Tungara taking the lineout duties. That wasn't a straight throw. But still, Uganda being very strategic, but I think they rushed it, so it's an infringement from their side. Ivory Coast deciding to start all the way to build from behind. They didn't want to go for a line-out. They didn't want to go kick for touch. They just decided, let's just push and push. And here they are gaining some ground. So not forgetting, next fixture will be pitting Tunisia versus Zambia. Also available on the K24 Plus app. And then the third fixture pitting our homeboys, the Kenya Under-20 Chipu, will be put live on the K24 TV, followed by the final match that will be Madagascar taking on Zimbabwe. That will be back live on the K24 Plus. Uganda with some very great composure now. They're playing the game. For the better part of the game, they're within the midfield and also into the half of good ball carry going into contact.
Manjirji letting the captain know as Malcolm Okello goes for touch. But how Uganda are able to get behind the gain line is by playing that +1 pass, that tip-on pass. The first ball carrier passes it on to the next one, and if there's some space, passes it on the next one. And that's how Alvin Rukundo was able to get well into the 22 and earn some points for and get some ground for Uganda. But it has been turned over there. Malcolm Okello very ambitious with his kick for touch, and it goes dead in goal, which gives Cote d'Ivoire a chance to exit their territory with a 22 drop.
So still Uganda ball, getting back into the just outside of the 22 for a line-out, but it will be a Cote d'Ivoire line-out, but with pressure from Uganda. I appreciate, Ernest, the tactics being used by Uganda, because in any line-out, first and foremost, they force you wide, because the guys in the front will be raised high and stay there. So if tactic-wise you're not able to throw a very good line-out, it's always a turnover for the Uganda. Cote d'Ivoire yet to settle into this game. Each and every time they get possession, as they try and move, they're held back into their strides. The ball has been played much on this side. I think Julie has been kept busy compared to Linus on the other side of the line-out.
Yeah, but you could see Uganda doing a lot of kicking in this game. That could be their strategy in there. But about the line-out, Uganda, as you can see now, they are not contesting at the line-out because they know the hooker cannot throw a straight ball. And initially, in the last game, it works against you and for you. You put your man up. If the hooker is good, he'll lob the ball over you, and you cannot defend that. But knowing that they have a hooker who against whom they are playing, who cannot throw a straight ball, they are choosing to wait for the ball to drop, and then they can attack from there. And just like that, on this penalty, that's for sealing off at the rack by Cote d'Ivoire, gives Malcolm Okello another chance for points. This is his third kickable penalty, and he has only opted to kick for points for just 2 of them. So let's see how he can keep the scoreboard ticking.
Thank you, Ernest. Very in-depth analysis. And the flags go up. Both Julie and Linus put their flags up. And ladies and gentlemen, the scores as it stands. Uganda further the lead, 6 points to nothing against Cote d'Ivoire. Okello ensuring that his kick is perfect through and through. He's at 100% as it stands. He was very instrumental in the game against Kenya, especially in the first half. So now back to Abdul Karimbiri with a kickoff to just start. After that score, Uganda pick it up, and hey, here they go again. If Ivory Coast are not careful, this is less than 15 minutes, and the score's already not welcoming for them. It's an infringement. It's an infringement.
Little bit of consultation between Linus and Eman Gilgi. So let's hear what they have to say there. Tackling the man without the ball. And that is a penalty for Uganda. It's an option. They could have the option of going to the front mark or the mark at the back. But Malcolm Okello just at halfway appears to have called for a scrummage there, as we have a medical break to have a player treated. But I could say that Uganda in this game appear to be the more technical side. They've done their homework against Cote d'Ivoire, who are yet to settle into this one. But we know that with such a team like Cote d'Ivoire, give them a chance and then they could take it, and they could pose some challenges for you, some cause for concern for you as the game goes on. But as it stands, Uganda are pretty much in control here.
Uganda taking the lead and holding on to it. It's not a fully confirmed call, because don't forget that with just one converted try, Cote d'Ivoire will take the lead. So it's more of how well does the Uganda team, with the very experienced players. As you look at Tembo Jeremy, Kevin Ampire, and Herbert Champara, who all play in the Premier League, and a very great men to watch. Very great players. Don't forget also Okello, who's very good with his left kick, and also Alvin Mwebaze, all players in the Uganda Premier League. This is the Barthes Cup Under 20 tournament. Uganda opting for a scrummage. Amen Drigi ensuring that everything is intact. That line out has to be, the scrum has to be reset. The front row for Uganda. I think Biaruhanga and Rukundo were not well set. But Champara as a hooker was well placed, but his supporting front row were not well set. So Amen Drigi had to give word to the Ivory Coast front row that you have Boyo, Tungara and Dianda on how well to reset it. Now activity is still not yet set. Ernest has some word for us.
A little bit of coaching there by Amen Gilgi to both front rows. It appears the Cote d'Ivoire front row are shoving a bit earlier than they're supposed to on the bind, and with his connection onto the opposite number, it will need to be a proper bind on the side, and then waiting for the call from the center referee.
So just a very good scrimmage for Uganda. Very good flow of the ball. Next pass on pass, very good offload, and here we go. But I think that one will be carried out. But it's a very good possession, hold of the ball for Uganda. Very good flow of it. I think the backs were excited. They're getting an opportunity into this game, considering it's been predominantly on the forward side. So line out, but let's look at how Uganda go into it. Wali Tungara for Cote d'Ivoire with the line-out duties. Looking at how Uganda ensure that your line-out is not perfect. They lift very well collected by Ivory Coast, very well collected. Not a smart play. Not a smart play by Ivory Coast, but they were able to collect the ball. Trying to kick out of danger, goes straight out, and Julie Sports informing that where you kick from determines whether when it's a straight out, if you're inside your 22, you know it's going to be an infringement on your side. If it goes straight out, you need to kick for touch.
Captain Luison Valentin Zoko kicking straight for touch when he was in his 22, but he wasn't well aware that the ball was transferred into his 22, so granting Uganda an advantage in possession and territory there. But he will need to, I think for this one, he will need to be more aware of the zone in which he's playing. But you can notice the difference in technique between the two hookers. Herbert Champara stands square, while his opposite number, Wally Tungara, stands with 1 foot forward, and that's the difference in being able to throw the ball. But Uganda's line-out has not been the best. They've not won any of their balls from the line-out, which goes something to say about how much the communication between the hookers and the hooker and the jumpers.
The jump was perfect. The ball was perfect. Holding of that ball became an issue. But I'm guessing this is just this is the under 20. We're not looking down on them, saying that we expected better. It's not Six Nations, but what we're saying is that we are happy with the level of growth, level of experience they get from that. I can tell you for a fact, Ernest, that the next time we'll be seeing this team, because they'll be making, I'm sure we'll be having these engagements more and more when it comes to Elgon Cup in the next 5 years. These are the players who will be in that team. And Uganda, even with a line out, even with a scrum, they have a better move, and they're able to collect. Here is the movement of the ball. Here's the movement of the ball. Uganda getting into the 22. That's a high tackle. So playing advantage. Uganda going into contact. They know very well they're playing advantage. Very good release of the ball by Uganda. Going into contact one more time. Still playing advantage. Yet another advantage. Oh, a very nice line. It's a handoff which you cannot collect that ball from there, and you know very well. Most likely, one and foremost, you must be offside. That's Umaru Sigwe trying to play sneaky into that one. Honest, as it stands, there's infringements. Maxwell Okello is being asked by the referee, where do we start? Do we take the first infringement that was a high tackle, or the infringement here? They opt for the second one, which is directly out straight into. Oh, Uganda opts to go for a tap-in, and let's look at what this generates to. Close the fantastic. I thought it'll go into contact and it'll get support, but that is amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Uganda put a try. That was done by hey, Joseph Kansime. Very well pushed. Ernest, I'm super excited for Uganda because now it puts the game a bit further. Ernest, what's your take on that one?
Michael Kadiango, the fullback, realizing that the Cote d'Ivoire forwards were all bunched in, and he sends a long Hail Mary ball out wide to Joseph Kansime Mwesigwa, who has the strength and the power and the drive to push against three of the Cote d'Ivoire defenders, and is able to touch down in the corner. It was a kickable penalty for Maxwell, for Malcolm Okello, but with the 5 points, Uganda will be sure that they've not missed out on those that they could have taken, and here's an opportunity for him to make the full complement of 7, and it is just short. So Uganda extend their lead from 6-0 to 11-0 courtesy of Joseph Kansime Mwesigwa, but some good awareness from fullback Michael Kaliango, who was on the bench last weekend.
Fantastic look at it, and that was a very good play, starting it off from the fullback. Kaliango, he just realized the defense was still not set, and he get a very good push, and then for Joseph Kansime to just figure it out and realize that how well can we just get another a 5-pointer. So that was very good, and there is a kickoff as we start off into this one. Very good defense, very good by Ivory Coast. If they pushed harder, they'll have converted, they'll have taken back this possession, but Uganda hold their ground. That ball is a rugby ball. You can never say you're sure how that ball will go. Very good start. Oh, that was a tactical kick. He was nearly being tackled and kicked right there and then. Very good ball movement by Uganda, going into contact, holding onto the ball. Taking the ball all the way, going into contact one more time. He knows the support is there. Infringement. Going straight onto the ground. Uganda, I believe they'll need to not rush this one. They have to figure it out. Daniel Okello taking lead, asking guys, what do we start off with? Now it's on leadership now. It's how well you communicate. Ernest, what's your feed on it?
You could see a little bit of a disagreement or discussion between the halfbacks. That's Alvin Sean Mwevase and his captain Malcolm Daniel Okello. Malcolm Daniel making the call to go for points. But his scrummer would have opted for a scrum or for a line-out because they know the strength they have against the Cote d'Ivoire defense. They are, I think, in Sean's mind, he's going for the jugular. He's let's kill them and kill them quick in this one before giving them a sniff at us. But Malcolm Okello says, let's do the easy stuff. And he makes amends with this kick straight through the middle, extending Uganda's lead to 14-0 against Cote d'Ivoire.
Fantastic. This is very good play by Uganda. That's why I said for Cote d'Ivoire, it was 12 minutes when I gave the warning that if they continue the play as it was set up, they'll end up getting another not very beautiful scoreline that they may not be happy about. I'm sure Uganda would have loved to be playing in the semi-finals today, but be it as they may, the draw did not favor them as they were played against very strong Kenya side, which if you look at the scrimmage for Uganda, the way they're strong, the Kenya one was stronger. So you can imagine, infringement right into the half of Ivory Coast. I'm thinking Abdul Karembiri would have done better. It was he was all alone. The ball was just a very good bounce. He'll have just picked up the ball, figured his way. Here's a replay. Ball comes. It's gone backwards. Then, as he's going to collect, he knocks it right there.
Yeah, I think there Abdul just took his eyes off the ball to assess his the attack and where next he could go. And you could say the decision making in that process had him lose attention and lose some focus. And he, with the bounce of the rugby ball, as he was trying to grab it and then see where to run around the two chasers from Uganda, he ended up knocking it forward, which is an easy scrum feed for Uganda just outside the 22, and they can employ their backs who have shown that they are the superior side in this matchup so far. And then now we get the scrum penalty for Uganda. Cote d'Ivoire front row, that is COTE Boyo on the tight head, is penalized for pulling down on his bind, for dragging the collapse in the scrum on his side of the bind. And Uganda yet again with pack leader there in Jeremy Tembo opting to go for the scrum again because they want to play with their backs out wide. But let's see if they can actually win this ball and then get the chance to send it out wide to their backs. In the first game, they played a good 8-9 play between the number 8 and the number 9. But this time with the strength in the backs, let's see if that's the play that they will opt for.
The ball comes out, and straight from the forwards to the backs. Very good run. Oh, what a fantastic pass. He's taken down, but there is very good support. I'm guessing Ivory Coast have already reset their defense. But we'll see how well Uganda can be able to get it off. The ball will go to the forwards. Try and push it into contact. Very good move of the ball. Very good carry. Straight again, going into contact. Out the ball. Not able to get it out immediately, but then here it is. Good movement. Very good pass. Very good pass. He has to turn, cover. It's an infringement there by Cote d'Ivoire.
The turnover is okay, but someone has to roll. And with Charles Mwandegu, the pack leader, taking a quick tap, going for the central, he realizes that the Cote d'Ivoire players are offside, and he goes for the quick tap, and everyone has been caught offside. So I think Emma Gilgi will be having a conversation with Captain Lucien Valentin Zoko that repeated infringement is going to be penalized on this one, and the Cote d'Ivoire will need to watch their discipline in the following segments of the game. So he sends him to have a conversation with his team What decision will Malcolm Okello go for? Yeah, he has already brought the tee on, so here Uganda clearly looking to extend their lead. And you could still see Sean Mwebaze, Alvin, with some disagreement with his captain, saying, let's go for the scrum, let's go for the points, for the 5. But you could say Captain Malcolm Okello choosing to play it safe by saying 3 is better than 5, is better than 7. But let's see if he can actually convert the 3.
Very good poise and very good kick. The flags are up. Both Julian Linus put up their flags, and ladies and gentlemen, as it stands into the 25th minute, Uganda extend the lead to 17 points to nothing. Cote d'Ivoire, who were humbled by Namibia 62 points to nothing in the first game on Saturday, not looking good even today as they play against Uganda. This is 25 minutes played. We have 15 minutes to play into this half. And it's an infringement by Uganda. It's a knock-on, and the referee plays advantage. Cote d'Ivoire collect the ball. I'm happy with the way Kutane Angeboyo, he's super heavy. Uganda were not able to put him down as they were able with the other plays. Very good flow of the ball. Very good flow of the ball. Cote d'Ivoire able to get the guy is really moving well. Very good move. It's an infringement. No, not really. Good collection. They're inside the 22 and they're inside the Uganda 22, hoping to cause an infringement, get some points into the scoreboard. Uganda able to hold their ground, going into contact. Cote d'Ivoire still playing within the 22. Smart collection of the ball. Not very much they can do there. Uganda is already right up with them. Playing inside the Uganda 22. Cote d'Ivoire really trying to push. It's a high tackle. The referee is playing advantage. This is one of the things which you ought to try and avoid, but you're never sure because it's not your call. Referee calls for the advantage. He goes back for the penalty. And as I've seen by the indication, I'm guessing if I'm not wrong, that was Louis Valentin Zoko indicating that we'll go for points. They're not going to take chance. If they can have a score on the board, better for them. So, Ernest.
This is the first opportunity in the entire tournament for Cote d'Ivoire to put some points on the board. And Captain Louison Valentin Zoko did not hesitate in pointing for the upright. But we can see the placement of the ball there by Abdul Karembiri. He's pointing it straight up on a kicking tee as opposed to pointing towards the kicking tee. Hopefully he will be able, the youngster, to put a good hit on it and get some points going. And he sends this one just wide. Yeah, you could notice from the way he placed the ball on the kicking tee that the way he placed the ball onto the tee, it's supposed the threads are supposed to point towards the uprights, but this time they were just a bit to the side, and kicking through the body of the ball needs you to the pressure on the ball needs a higher force for a similar area, and he ends up sending the penalty just wide, which keeps Cote d'Ivoire at 0. And just take another look at it. And you could see it sailed wide just because the kick was okay, but the placement of the ball did not do justice to him. And Uganda get a chance to exit their own area through that 22 dropout. And Cote d'Ivoire now can get some play in, but Uganda still employing that tactic of holding the Cote d'Ivoire players up. They did that all day against Kenya, and they've done it again today, winning a turnover. There, Charles, that's Brian Wandera, and his forwards, we could see Alvin Rukundo. Also there, the forwards getting a cheer on for having won an easy turnover. And then this is another scrum feed for Uganda, but this time it is in their own half. Does Malcolm Okello go for territory, or do the Bucks continue to play as well as they would have loved in this game?
Close. Bind. Set. Stable.
Alvin Mwebaze to feed. Comes out on the Uganda side, and then now that's that 8-9 play between Jeremy Tembo and Sean Mwebaze. Jeremy Tembo choosing to go all the way alone. Gains about 20 meters with ball drive. Sean Mwebaze has been playing a quick ball off the line out of the breakdown. And just 1 second, 2 second racks. And the ball is out to the backs. There's some space in there in the middle. A line break into the 22. Goes hooker, Herbert Champara. Another quick ball, Malcolm Okello. Sends it out wide to Ochan Emma, who sells the dummy. Is out at the wing. He's tackled into touch by his opposite number. And that will be a line out for Cote d'Ivoire. Could have been an opportunity for Uganda to add some points on the board, but very good defending there by Marcelo Daddy Audrey to deny Ochan Emma on the break.
And as for you, you just look at it from a very biased perspective. I know you're getting excited. You wish that Uganda can push it further, which is a very good thing. But yes, I'm also happy that Cote d'Ivoire are able to hold it to that to ensure that Uganda doesn't get much. But had it played it a better offload, that would have been a try. Looking at Wally Tongara with the line-out duties, that was not straight. That was not straight, even from my perspective. I'm happy. I'm happy. Amen Jiriji also noted it. That was not straight. And Uganda have now an opportunity for a scrum and to be able to push. They can set up a maul and go all the way into the try box, considering they have a better pack.
Yeah, hooker Willie Tungara has the power, but it's something I think to do with the technique or with the stability on the throw, which ends up biasing the ball onto the other side. I think in the second half or in halftime, once he gets an opportunity to speak with his coaches, they'll make sure that they can correct him so that there's that stability in the throw, the transfer of power from through his legs and the joints at the knees and at the hips, then the shoulders, and he's able to throw a straight ball. I think the technique is just there, that's not going on to his side. And there's another scrum penalty for Uganda. Alvin Mwebaze playing a quick ball to Malcolm Okello. A ball on the floor by Yasin Waswa. To Ochan Emma, not the cleanest of passes, but Alvin Mwebaze is there to collect the ball, and a strong turnover by Cote d'Ivoire, but playing off their feet. Now Alvin Mwebaze onto eighth man Jeremy Tembo. Now Ochan Emma dancing again, offloads Michael Kaliango, who sends it to Stephen Kalema, brought down, but he sends it out to Ampire Kevin with that chicken wing pass. And that's another repeated infringement there by Cote d'Ivoire. They are offside. Emen Jirji may have had enough there, and I think on the next infringement, surely someone could be risking getting sent to the bin. And there we have the kicking tee arriving for Malcolm Okello to put some points on the board.
Malcolm looking at getting it to 20 points to nothing. But yes, as you'd said, the referee, Amen Jiriji, was not getting amused by the repeat of the infringements by Cote d'Ivoire. And as it stood, they were nearly being penalized one more time. And yes, a yellow card was imminent to be coming out. They should be happy that they've not called for another scrum down, because if it was a scrum down, that will be another infringement, and that will have ended up straight into a yellow card for one of their players. Ladies and gentlemen, this is match day 2, match 1 of the Barthes Cup 2022, pitting Uganda versus Cote d'Ivoire. As it stands, Okello's kick is perfect right through the sticks. Scores move to Uganda 20, Cote d'Ivoire 0. As you can see from the repeat of how it went, Uganda ensured they kept the ball alive with an unstated chicken wing pass. So it's been a good one. Then Maxwell Okello ensures that the conversion is good. So Abdul Karimbiri starts it off one more time for Cote d'Ivoire. Uganda holding on to the ball right inside their 22. That's Michael Kaliango. Very good kick, very good kick, very, 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 very good kick. And Julie is very active on the sidelines, ensuring she gets the right spot of it. Ernest.
That appeared to have been a 50-22 or just about a meter short. Malcolm Daniel Okello there playing on the limit of the regulations. Ball was driven back, and you can see Coach Lumu there not showing a flat face, no excitement, no worries on his face. But I think with that play, Malcolm Okello, ball driven back, sent back into his 22, he was playing on the limit. If that ball had gone straight into touch, would have been a line out for Cote d'Ivoire inside the 22, but it bounces just outside the opposite 22. And we can see Tungara throwing after quite a long time, throwing a very good ball for his team to win on the line out. But the kick to exit territory wasn't good enough. And now captain Luison Valentin taking matters into his own hands and winning a turnover. But then again lost in play by Omara Sigwe, showing some frustration.
You can see how dramatic the coach is, because like he's thinking that's a textbook error. So it's a playground error, not expected by someone who's played rugby to the level where you're playing under 20 and representing your country. As it stands, we have a health break, ladies and gentlemen. This is match day 2, match 1, pitting Uganda and Cote d'Ivoire. The next match coming on will be pitting Tunisia versus Zambia at around 10:30. And then the next match will be Namibia, who beat Cote d'Ivoire 62-0, pitting against Kenya at around 1400 hours GMT time, GMT +3. Then Zimbabwe taking on Madagascar. This for the current matches that are ongoing, the Cote d'Ivoire versus Uganda. This is a placement mark. They're just looking for positioning, considering both Uganda and Cote d'Ivoire lost their matches. Tunisia same lost its match against Zimbabwe, and then by 1 point, as you can remember, within the last 3 minutes, Zimbabwe, who were trailing, were able to get a try in the last few minutes to overturn the game. Then Namibia and Kenya will be the semi-finals, and also Zimbabwe versus Madagascar. All those teams were winners on match day 1 this past Saturday. Don't forget the finals come up on Sunday. Same time. You can be able to view this match on the K24 Plus app and then on the Rugby Afrique Facebook page.
Scrum feed for Team Uganda. There with Alvin Mwebaze. You can see his 8th man, Jeremy Tembo, is well invested in the scrum. Emenjirji there saying, please, I think silver play, and then some instructions to the Cote d'Ivoire team on how to bind and how to engage at the scrum. Thumbs up from Alvin Rukundo, knowing to his technical bench, to his substitutes at the bench, knowing that they have the upper hand in this scrum. And now Alvin Webb, as a feeds, collapses. And Cote d'Ivoire penalized for collapsing the scrum. Quick ball out, quick tap by Team Uganda. And now Yassine Waswa on the break, beats 2 tacklers, presents the ball for Alvin Mwebaze, who feeds it down now to Michael Kaliango, sells a dummy, sends a Hail Mary pass, and it's intercepted by fullback Ismail Nakanabo. Hands free possession to Cote d'Ivoire, who will surely be playing that ball out to the backs and then to exit their own territory. There's only a couple of men manning the field. That looks like Brian Wandera. And now Yassine Waswa playing very well in the midfield, having been on the bench last weekend, but he's tackled high there. Ball pops out for Herbert Champara, carrying alone in that contact zone. Referee still playing advantage. And Malcolm Zokelo was looking to go for that break. And Ayman Jerji will say there was no advantage gained both in territory and in possession. And that's a penalty for Uganda. Uganda have enjoyed superior possession in this game, but they've also not been without error. They've had 5 handling errors compared to Cote d'Ivoire's 2. And you can see the penalty there by Captain Malcolm Okello, going to be very ambitious and ends up not finding touch, which gives away free possession to Cote d'Ivoire, who exit their territory very nicely and find some touch just right where the penalty was. So there's no gain there. There's no gain there in territory for Uganda, despite having the line out. And Alvin Mwebaze, who was looking to play the quick ball on the line out, the quick line out, was unable to, as the ball bounced and touched another body. 2 minutes to the end of the first half. Cote d'Ivoire have had only 3 visits to the Uganda 22 compared to a lot more for Uganda, but the score still stands at at 20-0 for Uganda, and then another line out there playing a decoy against Cote d'Ivoire. That will be Jonathan Dongo. He will have to support his own body weight for a proper contest at that breakdown. He was the first to arrive at the breakdown, but you will have to be on your feet and supporting your body weight there. The rugby guys will tell you that aeroplane landing, aeroplane taking off, so the nose and the head will have to be lower, will have to be higher than the hip joint. And Uganda now, Malcolm Okello making amends with that kick, finding touch to just inside the 22, the Cote d'Ivoire 22 there.
Very good analysis, very good feedback there from Ernest, all the way from Kampala, Uganda. This is the line out coming out, and Ivory Coast. Oh, there was an infringement. It's actually a penalty. So it's a short hand. It's a free kick for Uganda, and Uganda have opted. Here it is. It's a scrum. We have less than 30 seconds to play into this half, ladies and gentlemen. As it stands, Uganda lead by 20 points to nothing. Ivory Coast, Imen Rigi, the center referee, having word and just informing the Ivory Coast on some of those errors, on how well to deal with them. There's a slight health break there just by Uganda. It's there'll be a substitution, as indicated, of less than 30 seconds to play into the end of this half. As Ernest, you were indicating the number of visits by Uganda into the Cote d'Ivoire territory compared to how many Cote d'Ivoire have been to the Uganda territory 3 times, and only 1 attempt at goal, and it was not successful. But looking at going into the half, what are your expectations for both teams?
I think it will, like you can see Richard Lumu there, he already has his notes clearly saying that we have the stronger pack and our backline is even better than theirs. So he will be looking at setting a platform for the backs to play. The forwards can set you up, give you that quick ball, and the backs can explore themselves through the midfield. But his opposite man across the technical bench will be looking at stopping that momentum for Team Uganda. So strong contest at the breakdown, contest that ball like they did, but this time ensuring that they stay on the right side of the regulations. And if they are playing in the right territories, Uganda has had many handling errors, has had a couple of penalties given away in their half. If they are playing in the right territory, they could get some points, so they could have a break and they can score the try. So it will be, for Cote d'Ivoire, it is an opportunity. It is looking to get an opportunity to play in the half and capitalize on Uganda's mistakes. While for Uganda, it is getting in the right territory and using their strength to extend the lead even further.
Much appreciated. Very insightful data there you're being provided for. This analytics cannot be found anywhere else than at the Barthes Under-20 rugby tournament being held in Nairobi, Kenya. That was Ernest. As we go into the scrummage, I believe this will be one of the last plays of the game. So looking at the placement, the center referee, Amen Drigi, ensuring that everything is intact into this scrum. And as you can see, ball is in. Ball is well placed in. Uganda has a collapse of... Oh, there's a turnover. I thought the referee would have called for an infringement of the collapse, but I'm sure that was not on his side. It goes backwards, the ball goes backwards. That guy was in the offside position where he was receiving the ball from Ernest.
Like I was saying, Uganda making very uncharacteristic errors in territories that are not that advantageous for Cote d'Ivoire. But you could see Kansime Joseph unable to get the high ball and then loses it backwards. And then there is the knock forward and the offside, which gives Cote d'Ivoire a chance to play in Uganda's territory with the line out. Hopefully, Hooker Tungara can throw a straight ball, there. But those mistakes are what Cote d'Ivoire will need to capitalize on to put some points on the board and get their game going.
Looking into the last few plays of the match, Madani Traore has joined in the fixture and has taken out the line-out duties. And here we go, here we go. It was successful. The first one was successful. Very good movement of the ball. Oh, and it's an infringement. The ball was going so well. They'll have landed to the Bucks possession, and they'll have enjoyed some good possession of the ball. Uganda able to contain. Ball goes backwards, ball goes backwards. Uganda trying, getting into contact, but he's picked up by his opposite number, Quintana Boyo, and he's taken back. Uganda trying to get out of their territory. Very good movement of the ball. Very good movement. Oh, fantastic run. Very in and out, tries an in and out dummy. They're trying to push him out of the field of play, but they'll lose the ball. They lose. Oh, referee plays. That was a smart. The referee didn't make a call. Would have gone either way. Or both players for both teams go for the ball. It goes backwards for Uganda, so they maintain the position. They go into contact. Securing the ball, ensuring everything is intact with it. Ball is out. Good movement, good flow of it. As long as they reduce on the errors, Ernest has initiated that they'll be able to get more points on the board. That's a very good kick, but to who was it placed for?
I could say a bit of an unnecessary kick there, knowing that the backfield was being watched, turning over possession. It could be the last play of the half, but both teams choosing to continue playing. I think probably they are not aware that it's halftime, and you can see the displeasure on Richard Lumu saying, "Why kicking our ball?" You know, I could say it's the same on the other side with his opposite number, in telling his players, you know, let's close the half and we can reset and get the game going again. But there was a high tackle there, I think, on Kasime Joseph at the break. And Uganda have a penalty. Alvin Mwebaze is looking to do that tap onto the Bucks. And yes, he sends it to Mwandegu. And now Brian Wandera, Michael Kaliango with Stephen Kalemon is out and stepping inside and throws a pass out wide to Ochan Emma, who sends it to Brian Wandera, and it's lost forward. And I believe this time it will be halftime for a bit of an anticlimactic end.
So as we come to the end of the first half, the final scores as it comes to half time. Uganda lead by 20 points to nothing. Meet you up at the other half, ladies and gentlemen. As it's ended, Uganda take the lead into the half by 20 points, Cote d'Ivoire nothing. This is the Barthes Cup Under 20. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the second half of this fixture of match day 2, first match, pitting Uganda and Ivory Coast. This is a positioning game, not a semi-final. First match pits Namibia, Cote d'Ivoire versus Uganda. As it stands, first half scores was Uganda 20 and Ivory Coast 0. Joined in commentary by Ernest, who's been very great and instrumental in the feedback. Ball was kicked all the way deep into the try box. And it's a dead ball going into the 22. Going into the 22.
It will be, having grounded the ball in his own area, it will be goal line dropout as specified by center referee there, Will Emanjirji. And Malcolm Okello now has to give a hit with the bomb straight through the middle, ensuring that the ball stays in play. And now the team can defend against Cote d'Ivoire on the counter-attack.
So Cote d'Ivoire with the hold of the ball, they're able to keep possession of the ball. Not a very smart pass that was given out there. Going into contact, even into the referee. I'm sure the referee is reminding them, I'm not part of the play. I am just one of the personnel. Release player to tackle. Cote d'Ivoire holding onto the possession as what Ernest Akorebinguri had initiated, that it will be a very tactical second half. He had input on what Ivory Coast will do and also what Uganda may need to do. Ernest, what's your feel? It's been slightly 2 minutes into this game. What's your feel of it? What do you expect? How do you expect them to adjust? Is there anything that you've already noted? Let's go.
Cote d'Ivoire, they are enjoying more of the possession, carrying the ball and playing in the right territories. They are much smarter now in their play, ensuring not to get held up, but if they are held up, transferring the ball to the back and maintaining that possession. Uganda now having to do the hard work of defending and tackling and earning the possession, and we can have it right there that the tactic of holding up is not entirely working, but this time they've been able to turn over possession just at the floor, and we have a handling error there just in front of the uprights. I think that should have been Captain Malcolm Okello. Yes, it was. Making his first error in, I think, first handling error in a long time, I could say, for this game.
No, I can say for Malcolm, he's been fantastic, even in the first game against Kenya. If we were to say the number of hours he's gone, I can say he's gone more than an hour without an error. So, as this infringement, and the ball is an Ivory Coast possession, but the way the Uganda forwards are placed, the way they're placed, I'm expecting them to win off this scrum down and push Ivory Coast back into their half.
It could be a bit different coming from the break, first scrum after the break. Cote d'Ivoire have the momentum and they're playing in the right zone where they can now go full strength. So there were instructions from their coaches. There's a change at the front row, but let's see if they can win that ball as quickly as they would have loved. And yes, they do a little bit of a scramble play by the number 9 there, but it goes out wide to the backs onto the winger, who cuts back inside Marcel Daddy Audrey, and is brought down just inside the 22. It's a visit to the 22. The Cote d'Ivoirians are playing a slow ball. The Ugandans are defending short, managing to hold them up. Center referee Emanjirji hasn't called yet for the scrum because it's still moving. And the ball has popped out on the Ugandan side, and it's Adebu Avani with the turnover. Sean Alvin Mwebaze will be looking for his opposite number. The captain, Malcolm Okello, who sends the ball out to a well-fielded Abdul Karembiri at the back. And now Cote d'Ivoire playing in the right zones. Tackle break there by the winger. And I think that will be a first try for Cote d'Ivoire through Umaru Sige. Beautiful try there by Cote d'Ivoire, taking advantage of the good start in the second half, and they have put points on the board.
As Ernest had already initiated it, what do you do with your possession? Cote d'Ivoire, this is their first trip into the 22, into the half, and they've been able to be smart in their ball movement. I'm not sure about that last pass, but all in all, this is the first try. Very good. Omaru Sigwe ensuring that Cote d'Ivoire are also back onto the scoreboard with 5 points with a conversion to come. This is some great rugby. The ball is not really, the game is not really much out of their reach. Uganda may require to do some reset, looking into how well they handle that first 3 minutes of the second half. Ernest.
A conversion, let's take a look at this conversion. Does he give it a good hit? Not successful there, the attempt by Abdul Karembiri, but score standing at 5-20. The score can be deceptive, but once they score again, it becomes a close game, because they score again, they're just a try shot. But you can see that play there. An offload by Abdul Karembiri onto his midfielder, Omar Kante, and the ball goes out to the winger, Umaru Sige, who breaks the tackles there. Cote d'Ivoire, like I said, at the end of the first half, all they needed to do was take advantage of the mistakes by Uganda. And the missed tackle is a huge mistake that keeps you on the back foot. And Cote d'Ivoire able to score their first points of the game. That looked like a high tackle there by Kansime Joseph. On the chase for that kick. And Cote d'Ivoire now have a free play in the first half for touch. It will be a line out just inside the 10.
So Cote d'Ivoire showing some composure, a better look of the game, better feel of it going into this second half. They're the only team who put points on the board. We remember they had a change in the Madani Traore took over the line-out duties with that when they removed Wali Tungara late. That was not straight. That was not straight. That's an infringement. They ought to do better. They ought to do better. You have a line-out that's like straight position back at you. How well you use it determines how the game continues. So Uganda, you can see Alvin Mwebaze is already happy with the ball. He's the scrum half, ensuring that the scrum is well set, and he collects the ball and they set it for. They may look at the inside the Cote d'Ivoire half. So how well do they proceed with this? How well do they execute? How well do they, in a manner which does not infringe onto their lead? The scrum has been well set. Webaze puts it right inside. Not forget Jeremy Tembo was right there ready to do an 8-man pick. Ball is very well run there, but an infringement. Not an infringement per se, but just an intercept of the passes. And Ivory Coast are able to create some momentum, and with that turnover, as they push Uganda back into their half. A very good flow of the ball, not a smart pass. And he's able to step in and out. That was brilliant, not really a good pass, but it goes and it's collected. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Ivory Coast, he's not tackled. The try line is right there. I'll not be surprised he's been held up. The referee is there. But it'll be a scrum. It'll be a scrum. It's actually a goal line dropout with the new regulation. Sorry. Thank you, Anis, for the reminder.
Marcel Daddy-Audrey there, making a good break in Uganda. Very many mistakes, very many missed tackles by Team Uganda, bringing Cote d'Ivoire right from a scrum. They fed just about 60 meters away, and Cote d'Ivoire are at their own try area. This kick by Malcolm Okello, asking his teammates to relax and stay calm and keep into the game. It has not gone as successful as he would have loved. Going straight out, it's an option for a scrum by Cote d'Ivoire, or a line out or a line out just close to the area, and I think they will opt for the scrum down there. Malcolm Okello made this same mistake against Kenya in the first weekend, so I'm thinking it is something to do about with the rugby knowledge that he has, or some correction that needs to be made, because this kick is supposed to be finding ground when you're clearing your line for the exit. But let's take a look again at that break, that offload to Marcel Daddy, and he breaks the first tackle, breaks the second one. He's not held, so there's no obligation for him to release that ball. And if it weren't for that try-saving tackle by Jeremy Tembo, I think Cote d'Ivoire would have got their second points of the game and enter into the double figures, giving some concern for Team Uganda.
Very, very, very great insight into that. With a line out at the 5, Ivory Coast, it's their possession. they have another opportunity to push. They have another opportunity to push.
Back on.
They're able to collect it smartly, but not a very good offload of the pass. They're able to push here going in. Nice step. Not sure why he went back inside, but hey, he knows better. Here they come, push. Here they are. Not forgetting they're inside. They've lost possession. They've lost possession. It's knock forward. And Ivory Coast, they have the sail right behind the wind behind their sail. They're pushing well, but an infringement leaves them off on that.
10 minutes played in this half. Richard Lumu not very pleased, not amused with how his team has started the half. But Cote d'Ivoire there could have been a little bit more patient with keeping the play. And I'm very, very, very pleased with how they've turned out from the instructions by their head coach there. He will be happy with how they've played in these first 10 minutes. And if they can continue with this momentum, get some points on the board and continue scoring, they could clinch this game from Uganda. And we can see a turnover ball from that scrum. First scrum won against Uganda. Kicked behind, but then grabbed by Jeremy Tembo, who is in to touch in goal. So it's going to be a scrum 5 meters on, and Cote d'Ivoire right now have their tails up, and Uganda are playing on the back foot.
Uganda, as stated, as you say, Lumu there needs to give them some sort of composure, give them confidence. The captain there, Maxwell Okelo, ought to talk to his teammates. Let them understand what's at hand. Not forgetting, this was the first, just the previous scrum was the first scrum that was turned over by Ivory Coast, who were not great. And as Ernest had stated, was going into the half and they got back into the second half. He said they'll have a better scrummage, and as you've seen, they were well informed on how well to handle that. They have the wind, behind their sail, and going into this, here it is. Uganda trying it. There's a good 8-man pick. Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, it's a try. Wasn't it? No. He won't go like that way. He won't get it that way. He won't get it that way. He will have to turn. He will have to turn. He will have to turn. Uganda. Ball is the ball out? No. They have to get an evaluation of it. They have to get an evaluation of it. I'm guessing the ball must have been lost forward. Ernest.
A very strong carry off the base of the scrum there by Koulibaly Anyib. He grounded the ball. I think if there were a TMO review, we could have seen that ball must have touched the whitewash for a try. But he was short, presents the ball back behind, and then the scramble defense from Uganda to hold up the Cote d'Ivoirians in attack, and they were able to get that scrum. Having held up the ball carrier and get the turnover off the scrum. This time the scrum needs to be much cleaner. There's a foot up the Cote d'Ivoire side, but center referee says let's play on, and Jeremy Tembo makes the break alone. Ball is available for Alvin Mwebaze to play, sends it out wide to Captain Malcolm Zokelo, who sends a bomb of a kick deep inside the Cote d'Ivoire territory. It's inside the 22. So let's see what fullback Ismael Nakanabo will do. He chooses to carry, sends a little bit of an unplanned kick out to his opposite number, Michael Kalyango. Michael Kalyango will step 1, 2, 3 players. A little bit of an unnecessary play there with 2 men on his outside, but that's an offside call against Cote d'Ivoire by Eman Jirji. And Uganda have options. We take the scrum where the ball was kicked from, or do we take the offside? The point where the infringing players were. And Alvin Mwebaze opts for the scrum all the way just about at the 22. And we could say at that point in the regulations say if you are ahead of the kicker, you need to either retreat 10 meters or not make a single step forward, lest the offside penalty will be given against you.
Very true, honest on that one. And Ivory Coast, who would have been smart with that play, they ought to have just retreated, and it would have been advantage to them as their 15 had already made progress upwards, and actually he was tackled on his way out. Had they been smart, it would have been advantage to them. Uganda regaining back on their forwards, showing their prowess, and the referee is playing advantage. They cannot pick the ball from there. You cannot pick up the ball from there. It may even not just be an infringement. You can even end up getting a yellow card. So Uganda getting better composure. And how do they secure? It's been 15 minutes of the first half. I'm saying it's a kick. Maxwell Okello there. Bosco Jr.
Bosco Jr., his elder brother Jasper Onen, having played in Kenya at Cabras and other clubs here in the Kenya Cup. He played for the Rhinos and is now on the technical bench with the Rhinos alongside Uganda under-20 scrum coach Mashal Chumkam, who you could say that's a textbook scrum from Uganda, knowing that they have the powerful scrum. They need to take advantage of the Cote d'Ivoire, and Cote d'Ivoire penalized for early unbinding as the ball was being driven at the back of that scrum. Captain Malcolm Okello will want to convert this one to get Uganda going in the second half. He gives it a good hit. It has enough power and the direction is perfect. And that is Uganda's first points on the board in Kikaibo territory, and he converts for the score to stand at 23 for Uganda and 5 for Cote d'Ivoire.
Looking at the replay of the kick, Okello didn't kick it as high, but he gave it precise direction. And ladies and gentlemen, as the scores stand here in Nairobi, Kenya, it's 23-5. Ivory Coast start off the kickoff after the score. So possession is in Uganda's 22. Uganda looking to get off the territory. Michael Kalyango ensures he gives a very good kick, but it goes straight out. He was inside his 22. So from where he kicked, there's a revert of it. Some consultation. Kalyango is trying to explain to Julie on what he had done. Says,
yeah, that was a good exit kick from Michael Kalyango, but some consultation between Julie Randriarimana and center referee Emon Jirji on being clear on where Michael Kalyango was, and it could have been a squeaky bum time for Uganda, knowing that Cote d'Ivoire, who have now cleaned up the mistakes from the first half, get a line-out feed well inside their 22. A very good feed there by Cote d'Ivoire, and now they can set on their first play. But we can see again that tactic being employed by Uganda, who now have to release for Cote d'Ivoire to set, picked and driven off the base of that scrum onto captain, and then now another offload with some space on the outside. It's fullback Ariel Ismail Nachanabo in good area, intercepted very nicely by Emma Ochan. Did he lose that ball forward? No, he didn't, but the rugby is played on your feet, and Uganda have that penalty for a player off their feet. But a very good intercept there by Emma Ochan, well knowing that Cote d'Ivoire playing those offloads to put their players in the open space. And now Malcolm Okello needs to give it a good hit, fine touch, and Uganda can start playing in this half. He does fine touch. It's been slapped back by Marcel Daddy, but the flag is up. Linus' flag on the touchline is up for Uganda to get some touch just outside the 10. A very good attacking platform there. I think it's an opportunity to see Uganda's first set play in this second half.
But that one will be determined on how well they're able to secure this line out. That one determines everything. I think from my analysis of how Cote d'Ivoire are playing, considering some of their forwards are tall, Uganda has been able to keep them high. If you remember, whenever they're coming into contact, Uganda's kept them high, considering you're tall. Before your knees get to the ground, take you a longer time compared to a short player. But it was well executed. Uganda pick up the ball. Oh, very good line break right there. Not sure who it is, but a good line break by Uganda. The ball is now, it's a very, not a smart kick. He kicked it to the side, not forward.
Yeah, and yet again, like we're saying in the second half, and I think if we could get a shot of the head coach there, Richard Lumu, he will not be pleased with kicking possession away in such good territory and not exactly getting in behind the players. We will have the second match of the day between Tunisia and Zambia at 11:30. Coming up next is a second placement match in this Rugby Africa Under-20 Barthes Trophy. But Malcolm Okello giving away free possession to Cote d'Ivoire, and now they have a line out just inside their 22. Could have been the ball certainly reaches the player on the outside when it's sent through the hands. Just that this line out by Cote d'Ivoire is not one, and it has been lost forward there. So it's going to be a scrum for Team Uganda. but only about 5 meters outside the Cote d'Ivoire 22.
Little bit closer. Little bit closer.
It's another handling error by the Cote d'Ivoire, and it's the 5th compared to Uganda's 8 in this half, in this match.
Stable, stable, stable.
Second set piece in this phase of play. Jeremy Tembo choosing to go to the blind side on that 8th man pick, well secured by Uganda. Alvin Mwebaze onto Malcolm Okello, running blind is Yasin Wassa onto Ochan Emma, sends it out wide to Kansime Joseph, who scored the first try of the game. He's inside the 22 on the outside. His offloads just as he was about to get into touch, and Michael Kaliango with an opportunistic offload to Ochan Emma. Alvin Mwebaze secures that ball, but there's that contest at the breakdown by Cote d'Ivoire. Strong contest there, and they've won the turnover. Very good contest by Cote d'Ivoire, and the ball is being transferred out from that contact zone. And Cote d'Ivoire now have a chance to exit their territory. Uganda's wanting to replicate that turnover at the breakdown, but Cote d'Ivoire have secured it. And halfback Abdulaziz Ouattara will do a box kick, kicks it straight to Jeremy Tembo, who breaks the first tackle. He's still going on his own. Held, he needs to release that ball. While Jeremy Tembo released, the first player arriving at the breakdown put his hands ahead of the ball. And as much as he got the turnover, it was Uganda's penalty. And this time, hopefully, they can secure that ball. That's a quick tap by Uganda, lost backward, says the center referee. And this time, Cote d'Ivoire employing that tactic that Uganda like to use against them.
Stop. Here, there is an accidentally obstruction between you, both of you. Accidentally obstruction. So scrum.
So it's I think that's contact there at the breakdown. I think should be blocking. Yes, it is blocking.
There is an accidental.
And now Cote d'Ivoire have been awarded a scrum there for that subsequent.
Cote d'Ivoire with some changes. You can see Mamadou Ouattara and Madani Traore getting into the field of play. I'm guessing they're doing a replacement into the front row of Tonange Kiboyo and Ruana Dianda. Let's just see where the placement is. I'm guessing they're going straight into the front row.
Substitution is okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, with 18 minutes to play, this is the first fixture of match day 2. This is a placement game, not a semi-final. Next game, pitting Tunisia versus Zambia, is also a placement game. Then the semi-finals start off with the Namibia versus Kenya match at 2 p.m., followed by the Zimbabwe versus Madagascar game.
You can catch all these games live on K24 Plus, on the app, and on the Rugby Afrique Facebook page. So keep tuned in, stay tuned in to this game.
You're pushing up.
And while Uganda will have that shove done right at the scrum, they will need to push. They need to push straight and not upwards. And Cote d'Ivoire there get an opportunity to play. It was fumbled on the quick restart, but center referee opted to play on, and then the ball has been shuffled out wide to Marcel Daddy Audrey, who has lost the ball on the floor. But a little bit of characteristic handling errors from both sides, but Cote d'Ivoire making the less of the errors, and they are able to exit the red zone and get some territorial gain and some safety, I could say, in this play, as Uganda makes some substitutes there. That's Alvin Mwebaze off, and Michael Kaliango shifts to halfback, and Opileni Hosana, who started at 15, will get his opportunity to play.
Going into the last quarter of this match, Uganda still with their tails up, but Cote d'Ivoire showing that they're not a pushover. As per my co-commentator here, Ernest has been bringing us very good analytics of the game of rugby, especially at under 20 level. I'm looking at this Ivory Coast team and looking at how well they can develop going into 2-3 years from now, and what these players have in store going into their senior team, getting this experience from the Barthes Cup, and they can proceed follow-up fixtures that they'll be part of into the future.
Very good retaining of possession on that kick. We can see the fly half looking for some space at the back. He will be going for the box kick or the exit kick into the Uganda half, knowing that all the backs with the player on the floor are in that contact zone. But well carried there by Mamadou Konate, trying to hold him up, but he is able to find some ground. And now on to fly half Abdul Karembiri, but not the best of kicks that he could have opted to go for. And the ball is lost on the floor by Kansime Joseph Mwesigwa, giving free possession yet again on the set piece to Cote d'Ivoire, who have had, without a doubt, the upper hand in the second half.
Ladies and gentlemen, with less than 15 minutes to play, center referee Amen Jirji indicating and giving Uganda front row some of his observations on going into this scrimmage. But ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the tall second row in the Ivory Coast team, who've been very good in the line breaks. They've been very good, but Uganda's opposite numbers have ensured they've kept them up, especially on when they come into contact. Ivory Coast able to try to maintain it, but Uganda get a turnover as the ball. Whoa, very good clearance there by Bilabinke Samake, but Ivory Coast are not able to hold on to the possession. Let's look at Ismael Nakanabo picking up the ball, and Lumaru Sigwe doing a very good run with the ball. Ivory Coast trying to keep the possession. This deep in the inside, the Uganda ball. There's a very good hand. That was a very good hand. I'm still catching my breath from. I was just imagining, had it been me who had gotten into that handoff, I'm not sure I'll be remembering what time it is and where I am placed in this. Whoa, very good move. Ivory Coast are trying to make their moves known. They're coming in close. Uganda are able to get out of the danger zone. That's Malcolm Okello. Ivory Coast, ball goes backwards. And here we have Ismail Nakanabo. Offloads the ball. They're going into contact. Not sure. This is the smartest of moves. Going into contact, you'll be thrown out. He does it right before. It's called. And they take advantage. It's like they're handing over the ball to Uganda then to pull you out, so it becomes their line out. Honest, smart play.
Some show of power there by the Cote d'Ivoire, and sending Stephen Kalema onto the sidelines. That's a show of power. But Cote d'Ivoire have reacted to, and we saw it in the first game, teams reacting to Uganda's plan A of holding them up, of that short ball on defense. And they're able to make the breaks at the back behind Uganda. And we've seen it happen. We saw it happen in the first game. And it's happening in the second game today. But we now have a change of tactics by Cote d'Ivoire with Abdulaziz Ouattara throwing in the line out compared to when the first half was being thrown by the hooker. And very good line out throw after that set piece, well secured there by Bilali Binke Samake, who is having a strong showing in the second half. And the ball is transferred out to the backs. Very strong carry there, but well received by Uganda on that holding up tactic. It's a maul. It's static. There's no need to roll away by the Ugandan players there, and it has turned over onto the side of Michael Kaliango, who is being told by the referee to play the ball, but he opts for the box kick and regathers, but he has lost it forward. And that will be another handling error for Uganda, sending their tally of handling errors to 10, with Cote d'Ivoire having just 6. They've enjoyed the less possession in this game, with some changes ringing for Uganda, and the medical team running on just ahead of the set piece. We could say Uganda are just holding on against Cote d'Ivoire in this half.
As for every match, you can see the Ivory Coast head coach there giving a look of dismay. He's not happy with his boys on what they could have executed, considering they had reset well beginning into the second half. But much better analytics is that Cote d'Ivoire have been a better team compared to Uganda. Uganda look like they've lost that touch that they had in the first half. That's Lomu there giving a very stern look there. You may think he's one of the security guards in this ground, but yes, it's a city under the sun. It's the Nairobi Heat, so I totally understand. But he's very well placed. He's seeing his team he's now talking to his bench and telling them on what to pass to the players. It's been he's looking at on this placement going into the last match. How well do they get a position? I'm looking at Uganda looking for position number 5 in this tournament. Ernest.
They were in the driving seat at the end of the first half, leading 20-0, but they've done a lot of defending in this one, in the water break, coming in as number 8 of 8 in this tournament, and well knowing that number 6 and number 7 and number 8, knowing that number 7 and number 8 will be playing in a repechage tournament against 2 challengers. Winning this game will put them out of that bracket, but the highest possible finish will be number 5, having dropped out of the main cup semi-finals. It's a target for Team Uganda, very much higher in the objectives at the start of the game. And I think with this score, they will need to hold on much tighter with just about 12 minutes left to play. They will need to hold on much tighter if they are to get out of that worrisome bracket that puts them in the repechage playoff.
Very well-placed line out there, no scrummage there. What has been very unique is the possession and the hold of the... Whoa, fantastic run! Fantastic! Oh, ladies and gentlemen, as it looks, Ivory Coast were looking to go for a try, and they're still within it. It's 5 meters out. Not a smart move. Not a very smart move. Not a smart move. I'm not sure he's gotten it, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Cote d'Ivoire. I believe that's the second row who's gotten it. Cote d'Ivoire with a very interesting push. There was a one line break, and the guy was in the clear. Very good defense by Uganda, but they're still able to. How well do they reset it? They're able to reset and did a very good push. Here is a replay of it.
Ouattara making that break, selling a dummy in the first one and beating Kansime Joseph on the outside. Sells another dummy. Beats Opileni Hosana, is brought down by 3 Ugandans scampering in defense, and that 8th man pick by Gulibali Anyib. He wrestles his way out of the Ugandan hands, trying to hold him up, grounds the ball and scores Cote d'Ivoire's second try of the game. It's 10-23 with conversion to come. And it is successful, sending the score to 12-23. Cote d'Ivoire 11 points out. They score again. They could be willing to win this game. Really, it's a very good play there by Abdulaziz Ouattara to gain over 20 or 30 meters and give Cote d'Ivoire a fighting chance in this game after that try by Koulibaly Anyib and a successful conversion that followed.
It's clearly, ladies and gentlemen, it's a game of 2 halves. As it was at the break in the first half, Uganda were leading 20 points to nothing, and as it stands, only points on the paint that has been put by Uganda as 3 points, while Ivory Coast have put in 12 points. We have 10 minutes to play in this half, ladies and gentlemen. Ernest had just talked about the placement and how well Uganda ought to look at going into a 5-6 best position into this tournament. They win this one, they'll play the 5-6 final. They lose this game, they'll be playing the 7-8 final. Cote d'Ivoire now with the wind behind the sail, they're pursuing it well. Here they go. Whoa, fantastic defense right there by Bilali Binke Samake. He was shown, one of the props just showed him where the ball is going to pick, and what did he do? He picked up the person who was being given the ball and pushed him all the way out. Ernest, going into the last 9 minutes of this game, what's your look of it? Who should hold it to the ground, especially for your country, Uganda? They ought to play better. What do you expect from them?
Uganda will need to clean up how they turn out in the second half, because we saw it in the first game. In the first game, they conceded a try within the first minute, and now against Cote d'Ivoire have the upper hand. You could say if it was only the second half, Cote d'Ivoire will have played better than them in this one, and it's an advantage for a high tackle. It's the players sliding down, but you will need to make an effort to make a legal tackle there, and Ochan Emma earns Uganda a penalty, and without a doubt, Malcolm Okello points the upright.
But like, just honest on that one as a call, as you'd stated, as a call onto how well to execute that, because as it stands, that was it was called for a high tackle. But on analysis of it, as you say, you need to make an effort. I'm coming to tackle you, you've slid down. I'm not responsible for your sliding. It's not me who decided that you slide. It's you who did not get your good footing onto the ground. The grass may be slippery, and then it goes south for you, because I was going to tackle, and it would have been a good tackle had you not slid. But yes, the rules are the rules. Honest.
Yeah, it's the onus of such a regulation is for safety, and player safety is paramount in rugby. So as the ball carrier, you need to ensure that you're carrying into contact safely, so not leading with your elbow. As Malcolm Okello converts another penalty to put some breathing room for Uganda with the score just above double, so it's 12-26. You could have seen the bench. They are not exactly comfortable. There's a look of worry on their face. But what a kick that was. It's not gathered well, and Uganda had the chance to attack there, and they've got some 3 points for their concern. I was talking about player safety. So if you're the defending player, you will need to ensure that the ball carrier is safe as well. So whether he slides or not, you need to ensure that there's no contact above the shoulders. And subsequently, in such a play, we saw the first red card of the game, of the tournament, in the Madagascar versus Zambia game. And we have seen a player, a penalty given away, no yellow card, because there were mitigating factors, having had a player slip on the floor. But yet again, another good line break by Cote d'Ivoire. They have found the spaces on the outside. Full half sends a chicken wing pass. The very, very good break. That's a knock there by Emma Ochan as he is attempting the intercept. Will it be a knock forward, or will it be an intentional knock forward as judged by the referee? Abdulaziz Ouattara trying to get the regulation in his favor. And there's some consultation with time off.
Non, c'est mêlé. Quand il y a une mêlée, il faut jouer le mêlée.
A very good carry there by Umar Kante to put Cote d'Ivoire yet again making those breaks on the outside. They've realized in this half that Uganda defense short, so they are sending the ball out wide through the hands, not through the kick like Uganda, through the hands and finding spaces on the outside. 3 line breaks so far in this half, putting some space on the outside. And Uganda are constantly defending on the back foot with a number of missed tackles, and Cote d'Ivoire surely will be giving us a very good climax in this game. Uganda have more points for a breathing room, but if they're not careful, we could see this game turn all the way, and Cote d'Ivoire can be the one smiling at the end.
Uganda have pushed it to 2 converted tries, difference of 14 points. So they have some small breathing space, but it's not really a comfortable space that you just sit by and hope that for the best. As it stands, Cote d'Ivoire 12, Uganda 26. Cote d'Ivoire were able to, as Ernest has stated here, they're able to make very good push, very good drives. They're able to get, they're getting the ball deeper into the Uganda territory. And as he stated, not via the boot, but via running. Because on the wings, the line, with the line breaks in between there, they've been able to make progress into the Uganda 22. So as Amen Jiri had to consult with the, I'm guessing the TMO and all, it wasn't a deliberate knockdown of the ball by the Ugandan who had tried to intercept that ball, because that also would have been a good clean try for Uganda. So it's just a scrum down. It's a scrum down, and it's within the 22 of Uganda. So Ivory Coast looking to try and push and get some score on the board. They've been good in this second half, very, very good. And there is the ball. And there's an infringement. Referee, there's some theatrics. There's some theatrics right there. I saw it. There's some theatrics. The referee is telling him, get up. I saw what happened. So just reduce on the theatrics. I'm guessing the ball was not cleared out of the scrum, and someone tried to put it back in, or using his hand.
Yeah, there was a bit of illegal play at that scrum, playing the ball with the hands in the scrum. You're supposed to use your feet. With every player on their feet, use your feet to play the ball to the back, and you're going to have a penalty to exit their territory. With Malcolm Okello, who at this point is the current top scorer of the Barthes Trophy. He has scored all of Ugandan points in this game, save for the try by winger Joseph Kansime. And as we see some changes ringing on, it's Biaruhanga Alex off. Very good minutes played there by the front row. He has been replaced by he has been replaced there, I believe, by Joel Jose Conte. Yes, that was Jose Conte. And I think we'll have a line-out reset or a scrum. Cote d'Ivoire have opted for a line-out reset on this line-out. They know where the strength is. The scrum half is the one throwing the ball in the line-out for this game. The strength is not in the scrum, it's in the line-out. They win this ball, they have a chance to send it out wide to their wingers to explore those gaps that they've been doing so well in this half. And you could see that tactic from Cote d'Ivoire in the line-out, that they jump and then they close that gap. So whether the ball is straight or not straight, it will appear like it was a straight ball because the gap has been closed as the players are going in for the jump. And that's very smart play from Cote d'Ivoire as they find some space yet again on the outside. The man on the outside, a very good line break by Omando Ouattara. And there we will have a try by Cote d'Ivoire. It is Ahmed Gramoute diving just to the right of the uprights. There's some joy on the Cote d'Ivoire camp. They are still in it. The Cote d'Ivoirians, the West Africans are still in this game. It may be a bit late, but surely they are still in this game.
This is some drama happening in the last 5 minutes. I was about to call it and say that now it seems that the game is over. But like, if you look at the replay, very good movement of the ball, very good out of the good dummy, holds onto it, releases the ball onto the other side, realizes that yes, and there's a very good pickup there by Ahmed Gramoute, and yes, going straight close to the uprights to ensure that the conversion is not far. And it's good, ladies and gentlemen. We are one converted try away into a draw. With 2 minutes to play, Cote d'Ivoire stands at 19, Uganda at 26. Honest, Uganda had the opportunity of putting this game away. They've had several visits into the Cote d'Ivoire half. They've not utilized them. Cote d'Ivoire, as you stated it, they're making plays into the Uganda territory and not using the boot, but using line breaks. So as it stands, going into 2 minutes of this game, Maxwell Okello has to find a way with that kick to restart the score. How well do they pursue this one?
Cote d'Ivoire may not have enough time to win this game, knowing that they need to have a converted try and then a penalty. So you could say that Uganda are going to play it safe, but it's not a long time for them to be in a safe space, as we see Edwin Elemeriga coming on off the bench to replace Michael Kaliango. But Malcolm Okello there yet again not wanting to take any chances, opts for the uprights to keep Uganda in a safe distance. But I mentioned this at the end of the game on Saturday against Kenya, and just a while ago in this game against Cote d'Ivoire, that there seems to be a disconnect in the team that stands up for the first half and the Ugandan team that turns up for the second half. Maybe it could be they relax once they get to the changing room, or maybe they could be switching off, or maybe something happens in the changing room that once they turn out for the second half, it's a whole different outfit. And against a team that is strong enough, like we saw against Kenya, they run away with it, or they will struggle to hold on to their lead in the second half, like we saw against, I could say, a weaker team that's like Cote d'Ivoire.
Now going into Okello's kick, very good left-footed kicker. He's hoping this one goes in between. Oh, it's not successful. Not successful at all. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Ivory Coast pushing for, they're looking for that one converted try, and they've decided to go all the way. They are very heavy players. Honest, Uganda need to be smart in how well they handle this one.
The clock is already in the 80s, so there's no way in for Cote d'Ivoire to win this game. Oh, there is. They need to. They can only draw and then send it into extra time. So that penalty that is short gives free possession to Cote d'Ivoire to play, but they have to drive it over 80 meters. They have to drive the ball over 80 meters, and with this line out, if they are able to score, we go into extra time. And it's squeaky bum time for Uganda, who have surely given this game, handed this game into the hands of the Cote d'Ivoire, of the Ivorians. A consultation between Ayman Djilji and and the Ugandan captain. It's a line out for Cote d'Ivoire here. It's the last play of the game. Any handling error, if the ball goes dead, it will be the end of it. But 7-point game, 26-19. Cote d'Ivoire need to score and convert to send this game into extra time. Very good line out throw there, and sent out wide to the backs. Strong tackle by Charles Ryan Mwandegu. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be the last play of the game. You could see a smile on Richard Lumu's face as he celebrates. Uganda have been able to win their first game of the Under-20 Barthes Trophy. And what a finale, and what a fight from Cote d'Ivoire to give us a very good climax to this one.
That was a very nervy ending into this game. Uganda were very much worried going into the last 3 minutes as Ivory Coast had a closed in, and it was just one converted try away into a draw. Ernest, thank you very much for your input into this game. Ladies and gentlemen, as we